Who loves basketball? Coach Corsi here, California, Philippines, Bearcats. Let's go, Bearcats! Hey guys, Coach Corsi here, California, Philippines, Bearcats. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Wanted to share something with you guys very near and dear to my heart. And I just want to talk to you about basketball. Okay, I've been a basketball guy as long as I can remember, and I want to talk to you about how I got there and how I ended up being a basketball coach, a basketball player. Why I love, as long as I've known, basketball has been such a huge part of my life. And so this video is going to be more for. Hope you guys enjoy it and you subscribe, but it's going to be more for posterity for me because the reason I love basketball today is because of my dad. And my dad, a year ago and 2 weeks year, passed away. So this is going to be more of a tribute to him because without my dad, honestly, I don't think that I would love basketball like I do today. So I want to go through the story real quick and kind of explain it to you so you get an idea of who my dad was. My dad pretty much when he was working in LA. They lived in LA before my brothers and I were born, or just as we were being born. And my dad was a great baseball player, actually, very good baseball player. Could have played in the minor leagues, played at a very high level. And they lived pretty close to La Brea Tar Pits in LA and really close to Hancock Park, which is right next to La Brea Tar Pits. And so my dad, every Saturday, used to go down to Hancock Park, play baseball, not basketball. And when he was 30, he went by the basketball court and saw some guys playing, got into a game, and that was it for him. That was it. He fell in love with basketball. Now, my dad had no formal training. There were no clubs. He never played high school or college ball. There were no coaches to teach him. My dad pretty much learned the game of basketball on his own. So my dad at age 30, like I said, started playing basketball, and then he had us kids, and we moved from LA to the San Gabriel, Pasadena area, and he immediately built a half-court basketball court for not only for him to play, but also for his kids to play with him. And basically, all I can remember growing up was playing basketball with my dad when he got home from work. And then every Saturday, we would get up, and we had almost an acre of land, and so we were his three workers on the property. And so we'd work from like 8 to 11, and then we'd all get in the car and we'd head to Barnes Park Gym in Monterey Park. We would play basketball from like 11 to 1, 2 o'clock. And from there, we would head to the big payoff, the big reward after playing basketball was to go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee. And we couldn't wait for that. And so this is how I grew up. Every Saturday we would work on our lawn, and then we'd head to Barnes Park and play for 2 or 3 hours, get a Slurpee, and that was it. And during the week, every afternoon, my dad came home from work. Usually, most days, we would be out there, me and my two brothers and my dad, playing 2-on-2, playing 1-on-1, shooting around. We'd have friends from the neighborhood come over. My dad even put lights in. And the whole bit. And it was a really nice half court. And my brothers and I would spend many Friday nights late at night shooting, playing basketball. So, and then from there, when we moved from there, when I was about 18, and we moved from there, I was going to college, we moved to La Mirada. And so when we went to La Mirada, instead of course, my dad put up a pole and we had a basketball court. Not as nice as the one in San Gabriel, but we put up a pole and we had a little basketball court. And so every Saturday, because we didn't have much of a lawn, it only took like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, we would head to Laguna Beach. And from when I was in college, high school and college and on, every Saturday head down to Laguna Beach, and we'd all play down there at the beach when Laguna Beach basketball was really big time back then. When, I watched Michael Jordan play there, and many NBA players play there, and they had these huge tournaments during the summer, and all these NBA and college guys would flock to the beach. So we used to go to Laguna Beach. So So for me, and not only that, my dad, two interesting facts on him. When I was in high school, he started a church league out of our church, and it was actually very successful. Tons of church teams joined. He ran that for about 5 years and then got tired of it and moved on. But my dad started and ran a church league for 5 years, and we would all come and watch. And I was too young to play, but my older brother Steve played a little bit, and I remember that. My dad played basketball till he was 78 years old. Think about that. 78 years old. My dad played basketball. He played he played pickup ball most of that time. Then he got into the senior Olympics, which if you know anything about the senior Olympics, don't laugh. It is a really, really big deal. And so my dad got into senior Olympics and he ended up playing in senior Olympics till he was about 70, 75, and then ended up playing pickup ball with his friends till he was 78 years old. Crazy. So I'm telling you all this because everybody has an influence in their life. And for me, it was my dad. And if my dad wouldn't have taken such a big interest in basketball and getting us to Barnes Park Gym, where we all pretty much honed our skills at Barnes Park Gym in Monterey Park. That's where we honed our skills. We learned how to play. And there was no club basketball back then. You just go in and find a couple guys and get the next game. And if you won, you stayed on. If you lost, then you waited an hour. And that's how it was. You just had to compete to stay on the court, call your own fouls. A lot of guys arguing over fouls and all that. So that was a big part of it. And then for me, the other thing my dad did is he found out during our high school years about the Coach Lyons Biola basketball camp, which was there was Snow Summit and there was Coach Lyons Biola basketball camp. Those were two of the only basketball camps during the summer. So every summer, my dad would send me and my two brothers to Howard Lyons, Coach Lyons Biola basketball camps every summer. And we would do drills and testing and we would play games. We'd do free throw contests, one-on-one contests. And again, that was my dad that really got us interested. And I ended up going to Biola out of high school for 2 years. I redshirted one and I played one and I transferred to Vanguard University. And the reason I did is because of Howard Lyons, the coach there, who was the only person that really gave me an offer coming out of high school. So anyways, that's kind of my story. I just, I was just during the Christmas time here and being without my dad now for over a year now. I was really thinking about him this last week, and I really wanted to share this story with you guys because without my dad, there would be no Dave Corsi in basketball. There would be no Steve Corsi in basketball. There would be no Tim Corsi, my younger brother, in basketball. We all fell in love with basketball because of my dad. And here's the greatest thing about my dad, even on top of that, when my brother was in high school, I was a freshman, my brother was a senior, then he went to college and played at Biola, and I was in high school and my brother was in junior high. My dad figured out a way to make almost all of our games. And there was times where we were playing at possibly three different locations on the same day. And my dad found a way to get to just about every one of our games. I can't remember many games. I can't remember one, to be honest with you, and I'm sure there were, where my dad wasn't there. My dad was always there. So he worked a full-time job in LA and then found a way to get to all of our games during our junior high, high school, and college years. My dad was always there. In fact, even after I was done playing, I was playing in some men's leagues. And my dad wanted to come and watch me play. And I'm like, Dad, you really don't need to come watch me play. This is kind of crazy. But he wanted to because he loved watching his children play. And then when I grew up, I promised myself that I was going to build a nicer basketball court than my dad built for my kids. And I did that. I one-upped it, pay it forward, did it to give Grant and Alexander an even greater experience playing basketball. And the Corsi court still stands today, and is there and being used. So So anyways, thank God for my dad. My dad was a huge influence in my life. Was my dad perfect? No. But the one thing he was perfect about was getting us and instilling us a love for the game of basketball. And I will forever be indebted to my dad for that. And during this Christmas year and season, really miss my dad a ton, and just love my dad so much. And he had such a huge influence on me because in the game of basketball, I would have never played basketball if it wasn't for my dad. I would have never played high school basketball. I would never play college basketball. I've never played overseas. I would have never started a basketball club. I would have never really encouraged my kids to play basketball. And then it just goes on and on and on. And it really all started with my dad. My loving father, 5'8" Guido Italian. My dad is the one that really put into me the love and the joy and the passion for basketball. So California Philippines Bearcats would not be here today if it wasn't for my dad. So thank you, Dad. I love you. I know you're with the Lord. You're in his presence, and someday we'll all be there with you. But thank you for instilling that love and that joy for the game of basketball. Hey, we love you guys. God bless you. God keep you. And God just really bless you during this holiday season. And just focus on Jesus Christ and his love for you during this time of the year more than ever. God bless. Go Bearcats. Hey guys, Coach Corsi here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. And thanks for being a part of this vision for the future to impact our youth and the next generation. God bless you and go Bearcats.